Hello, you wonderful followers of the Marriage and Family Clinic. Today we're talking about how we therapists do self-care. And the reason we're talking about that is because it's something that you can be doing too that works for your own self-care. Of course, we therapists, we hear problems from the time we walk into our office until the time we walk out. And sometimes we hear people's problems on the bus and when families call us on the weekends. And so it's very important for us that we're taking care of ourselves and doing self-care so that we can stay sharp, and most importantly so that we don't get overwhelmed. Now, these are absolutely applicable to you. The things that we find that we do that works absolutely helps you as well. So with that then, some things that we do to make sure we're doing self-care that works is, first of all, don't force it. Don't force your self-care. If you're forcing self-care, then it becomes a chore, kind of like doing dishes or mopping or mowing the lawn or something like that. Once you start forcing it and once you start feeling like it's a chore, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of self-care. It's not really rejuvenating for you. You don't really look forward to it, and it just defeats the whole purpose of it. So first of all, don't force it. The second one is to make sure it's something you like to do. Now, as funny as it might sound, that's actually where most people go wrong. And the folks who sit on our couches, that's usually the problem that they have. They find things to do for self-care, but it's not for them, or at least it's not only for them, okay? So they'll do things like they'll go out with their family, or they'll go on a date with their spouse, or they'll go help their neighbor build a deck or something like that. And that's good. Those are nice things, and it's fun to get out and do some of that stuff. But self-care has to be absolutely for you. Going out with the family, for example, is fun, but you got kids who forgot to bring their shoes in the car or something like that, or teenagers that won't get off their cell phones, and so it brings stress along with it as well. And that's not matching the purpose for self-care. Me, for example, I like to watch scary movies. All right, as silly as it sounds and what a waste of time they are, I know. But it's something that I can just sit, let my mind veg out, kind of waste my brain watching scary movies. And my family, they don't like scary movies, so they are nowhere to be found. They'll go off to their own corners and do whatever they do, I don't know. And so I sit in front of my TV with my cream soda, I have some movie candy with me, and I just veg out and waste my mind watching scary movies. For you then, it's got to be something you enjoy doing. So it can be like reading a book, it can be going out with a friend and just doing something silly, it can be binge watching YouTube or something like that, right? But it's got to be something for you that you enjoy doing. If you don't do it because you enjoy it, then it kind of defeats the purpose of self-care there as well. The third step then is to set boundaries around it. Okay, if you're like most people who don't do self-care, you have 24 hours in the day, the same as everyone else. And if you're not doing self-care, that means that you have filled those 24 hours with something else, something other than self-care. And so if you're going to be doing self-care, it means you got to carve out time for it somewhere, okay? Which isn't as bad as it sounds, because it's actually something you enjoy doing if you're following the tips I'm giving you here. And so carve out time to do something you enjoy for you and protect that time. Feel free to tell people no. It feels kind of selfish when someone says, hey, can you help me with my deck? And you say, I'm going to watch a movie instead. But you got to do it for you. If you don't protect that time, you're going to find other things to fill it with, other obligations, other chores, and again, it defeats the purpose of self-care. So when you're doing these 3 tips, it will help you to feel less overwhelmed. It will help you to feel more in control and in tune with you, and makes your days generally brighter. When you're not doing self-care, then we start seeing things, you start feeling overwhelmed. We even see things like anxiety sometimes. And so make sure you're doing things for you, and hopefully these 3 tips help you. Leave your comments below, tell me what you think, and we'll see you the next time.